Dantes is the incarnation of Sisyphus, the mortal being who was punished by Hades by forcing him to roll an immense boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down every time it neared the top, repeating this action for eternity. This describes the very unfolding of events with Dantes and his Korea arc, such as his bans when grinding on the Korean server. There's various reasons for these bans, and consequently Dantes is very unlikely to ever reach rank 1 on Korea, perhaps never, because the rock will keep falling down and down for eternity. So let's explain why. First of all, if you're out of the loop, TFBlade managed to ban 6 other streamers in just 3 days of drama. I made a whole video revolving this event, but the gist of it is basically TFBlade was being incredibly toxic in solo queue in Korea and then he got banned. TFBlade was in the same hotel as these 6 other streamers, and as a consequence all of them got banned, including Dantes, as there was an IP ban that was administered to TFBlade. Dantes would try to overcome this temporary setback, but he kept getting banned and banned and banned. Why? Is Dantes just seemingly being held back from climbing or even playing on Korea at all? And what is actually the real truth behind streamers bootcamping on the Korean server? Here's some fundamentals required for what I'm about to say. On the Korean server, you are required to sign up with a Korean social security number, otherwise you can't play on the Korean server. Foreigners are unable to play on the Korean servers because of this reason, and they don't have a security number. Therefore, the only legal way, or Riot Games' legal way, is to play with a Riot account. Effectively, it's an account given to you by Riot Games, most likely due to your connections with Riot, such as a League partner program. If a player plays without a Riot account, they would be effectively playing on a Korean person's social security number, which in Riot's eyes, and I guess everybody else's, the foreigner is essentially committing identity theft by using this false identity to get access to the Korean server. With this context in mind, more or less 90% of bootcampers or streamers who go to Korea are breaking the Riot terms of service by using an account from a Korean dude. Most of these people do not have a Riot account because they consequently aren't in the League partner program. Now this is understandable though, because LPP is perhaps one of the hardest things to get into, and no, it's not because of their meager requirements that is listed on their website. I mean, just look at these standards. To be eligible, content creators needs to be focused on making League of Legends TFT or Legends of Runeterra content. Specific viewership or subscriber requirements may vary by region. These are the minimum requirements, and meeting these do not guarantee admission into the program. At least 30% of the content needs to be a mix of these games, minimum 50 average concurrent viewers on your livestream from the last 30 days, and or 5,000 average views on your video content in the past 30 days, or at least 1,000 YouTube subscribers. You have to be 16 years of age, must adhere to our behavior expectations, and you must sign a non-disclosure agreement. Now these behavior expectations are a lot, and arguably polarizing content creators like Dantes and TFBlade, etc. would probably not be able to adhere to them. But the point is that a lot of content creators can, would, and is adhering to them. However, if you want to apply, you have to read the Applications tab. Applications are currently closed. We're planning on opening them back up in 2021, so stay tuned. We're delaying opening applications back up for LPP in 2021 because we're working on adding more value to the program in ways that we hope creators will be even more excited about. We will have more information on what we got cooking up in the first half of 2022. So that pretty much sums up everything you need to know about LPP. Alois, who was also banned in the TFBlade incident, managed somehow to actually get partnered in a few weeks or months after the event. Not entirely sure on the time frame there, but somewhere in this room he got partnered. I noticed that because he said something in the likes of thank you to his audience for voting on him. I was extremely curious and even shocked to hear that. Like, what the fuck do you mean by voting? Applications are opening up in 2021 after all. It turns out, on some obscure Twitter marketing post, you could press a link and then vote on certain content creators to let them into the program. I have no idea why Riot went this obscure way, but here we are. And it's not like quite many people are inactive in the LPP, so if you wanted more spots, you could just, kick those guys out, but nah, a guy who hasn't streamed in 3 years might come back next week or something, right? And, stream for a couple of hours. Who knows? So yeah, anyways, back to the point. Most people are just outright violating the TOS regarding their stay on the Korean server by using a Korean ID. This is why Dantes keeps getting banned, for example, during his first Korean run. This run, the late 2023 run, so far he has only been banned for 14 days for inting, which he went 1-8 on a game of Morgana Jungle. And what's funny is that this ban happened a few days after the game. This dips into the idea that there are multiple ways of Dantes having setbacks in his Korean arc run, namely because he isn't on a Riot account. So effectively, if you don't know this, Riot Korea is for some reason having a more prestigious system than us in Advanced. Apparently pros and big content creators have their own kind of hotline where they can just text in and then get someone banned immediately a few minutes later. This information comes from LS and one of his colleagues, so it's likely Dantes got banned for such a reason. In addition, the Tension also said that the Korean would be banning him, which may be a cause for the IP hotel ban in the first place.
This pro player in my game said, "You are from NA, I'm making sure you get banned," is what he said to me, and he was 1 in 14! 1 in 14!
But wait, your account just got banned, right?
Literally,
we all got
he
banned.
said, in the game that I just played, he said, "I will make sure all NA players will be banned."
What the fuck? Dude!
And I went to the bathroom, come back, and I'm banned.
This means that Dantes' actions are under a spotlight, so to speak, and being heavily scrutinized by Riot. One little misstep and his account is fated to be history. And remember that Riot has zero tolerance when it comes to the Korean server. A little interesting fact regarding this is that Riot Korea banned all Vietnam Riot accounts from their server. Now allegedly, all of them were banned due to toxicity, and as well as 2 of them were already punished in 2021 due to inappropriate behavior. The last thing one has to note is that Dantes is probably actively, or maybe not actively, hated by the head of the LPP in North America. Obviously this is pure speculation, but after Dantes wrote a tweet asking her to do something regarding win trades in solo queue, she has grown to spite him. She could or not have a hand in things if she contacts Riot Korea. And on the other side, it's likely that he can get challenger or even rank 1 on Korea without being banned. If he isn't toxic or doesn't get banned for supposed inting, you could get as high as what Spearshot is. Spearshot doesn't seem to have a Riot account because if you look at his client when he is in Korea, it doesn't show the little Riot chest-like icon that Arguin has, for example. This is a big indicator on whether the player is on a Riot account or not. Spearshot is 1000 LP challenger with almost 600 games played, so it's 100% doable without being banned on a non-Riot account. The same applies to Brohan, who didn't get touched for 17 days, even hitting as close as rank 10 in Korea on July 2nd, but even he eventually got banned as he ended up grinding on a secondary account. Not entirely sure what that is all about, but yeah, probably because his account got locked. So the question is it possible for Dantes to reach rank 1? Probably, but it would be against all odds. Remember that the hotel incident with TF Blade originally happened due to an increased demand by the Korean League community to ban Western players, or more specifically just TF Blade. And if this didn't happen at all, the subsequent bans after the hotel incident most likely wouldn't have happened. All in all, Riot enforces what they want. If there's a demand to ban Western streamers again, the hammer is sure to come down.